This video is going to be very different to my normal videos, but I ask for as many of you to stay and watch till the end because this could affect you and millions of other people. It's going to be off script for the most part, so apologies if I ramble a bit, but this is really important. A new legislation has just been approved in the EU. Most people refer to this legislation as Article 13. YouTube made a statement last week basically saying if Article 13 passes in January, the way it's written as of right now by the European Parliament, they will have no other choice but to block millions of videos by YouTubers who live inside the EU. For those who don't know, all these countries on screen are within the EU, so if you are outside of the EU and you watch any YouTuber who lives in these countries like PewDiePie, I Hate Everything, or even me, there's a good chance our videos will be blocked from you, and not only that, we will be prevented from uploading ever again. It's just too risky for YouTube to allow us to upload if Article 13 passes. Now, a lot of you might be suggesting that it's highly unlikely that this will be passed, as a lot of people I've reached out to have said a similar thing, but what a lot of these people don't understand is that it's already been approved back in September of this year, which is also something that thousands of people said it's very unlikely to happen, and yet it's happened. Now, the article hasn't passed yet, it's simply been approved, meaning there is one final vote in January to determine whether or not the article will be passed and what will be written on the article. And not only that, the MEPs who are going to be voting in January are highly in favour of passing this. And to top it all off, it has mainstream support, especially in the music industry, with so many celebrities stepping forward and sending handwritten letters to MEPs. Yeah, there are so many big people up there right now supporting this. You might be wondering, how can the EU and so many other people do such a thing? Why would they want to do such a thing? Well, the short answer is, they wouldn't if they knew what the consequences were. Article 13 was never meant to cause this much damage, and the people who are voting for this to happen have no idea about these consequences. And you might be thinking that sounds a bit silly, but a YouTuber known as Count Dankula was present at the time this Article 13 was approved, and he asked several MEPs afterwards, and they just clearly had no idea what they were voting for.
And everyone we spoke to, no one had any clue, no one had any idea what they were talking about or what they were even fucking voting for. It's not doomed. It's not as bad as you think. Like, yeah, it's actually kind of as bad as you think. Yeah, press F for Europe.
If you summarise what Article 13 is about, it sounds great. Article 13, in summary, is supposed to help balance the gap between artists and platforms like YouTube when getting paid online, while also protecting their copyrighted material. That alone sounds great. Artists can now make more money, which explains why the music industry is behind this, but Article 13 is also trying to stop their work from being stolen. But that's where the problem comes in. If you look at the way Article 13 wants to tackle copyright, it claims that it will hold platforms like YouTube solely responsible for any copyright material that appears on their site, which means YouTube could be entitled to a lawsuit the second any copyright content is found on their site. And YouTube has around 400 hours being uploaded a minute. There is no way YouTube can manually monitor all content that goes out on their site. As of right now, YouTube has a Content ID system which detects copyright material inside videos that you upload. So if you have any copyrighted material, it will automatically claim it. If they find any copyrighted material, it stops your video from being monetized and it notifies the copyright holder. The copyright holder then has the choice to block your video or monetize the video for themselves. 90% of the time, according to YouTube, copyright holders tend to leave the video up and public for everyone, but they monetize the video for themselves, so they'll be making some money from it. Which is fair enough when YouTube gets it right. However, if you have been on YouTube as long as I have, you'll be aware that YouTube's copyright system has a lot of problems. And there has been countless situations where YouTube's copyright system has falsely actually flagged people's videos. You see, in the United States and the United Kingdom, I am unaware of what it is like for other countries, but there are laws known as fair use and fair dealing. These particular laws allow you to upload copyrighted material providing that you can add something new to the original piece, whether it be a parody, a critique on the actual piece, or you're just adding some kind of new meaning to it, which is a lot of what my videos are, and a lot of the times have been falsely accused. For example, there was a video not too long ago that I made called A Show Better Than Black Mirror, and in this video I was supposed to entice people, or I was trying to entice people, to go and watch a new show called Inside Number 9, which was made on the BBC. Now, in order to actually entice people, I wanted to talk about a particular episode, and talk about some of the themes hidden within it, and in order to do this, I needed to show clips to help express my point, and make the video much more appealing to newer viewers that could eventually go on and watch the show itself. And that actually worked when it eventually was passed. Unfortunately, YouTube's Content ID system falsely accused my video despite it falling under fair use because I was adding new meaning, but because of Content ID in YouTube's system, it detected it and it couldn't tell the difference between fair use and copyright. So instead, it blocked my video, and I had a good few attempts to try and get this video through before the BBC eventually realized that it was helping their show and decided to have it public. This happens to thousands of content creators every single day getting falsely accused by YouTube's Content ID system, so it already is very faulty. They do have a button, however, where you can file a dispute, but that's not always guaranteed that your video will come back, even if it so rightly does fall under fair use law. Now, if Article 13 actually is passed and gets implemented into EU law, then this will push YouTube to make their Content ID system even stricter than it is now. And it's already pretty strict and falsely accuses many people. You've got to remember that YouTube's Content ID system is a form of AI, and it cannot detect the difference between fair use and copyrighted material. I've already read an article now suggesting that YouTube is wanting to implement upload filters, which means if that happens, the EU will require all platforms that are in the EU to have upload filters. And if they can't afford that, then YouTube will sell their Content ID to those smaller platforms that can't make it. Meaning that there will be several more platforms within the EU that has YouTube's dodgy copyright system. Meaning, yeah, memes could technically be banned on other platforms that have YouTube's dodgy Content ID that can't tell the difference between fair use and copyright. YouTube has also suggested that they could whitelist a few creators within the EU and they can continue uploading content, but those particular creators will be people that YouTube can trust to not upload any copyright material in their videos. So that will not be channels like me, unfortunately. I don't hate YouTube for that or am angry at them in any way, because all they are trying to do is compromise with this law that is absolutely ridiculous. The best thing we can do as of right now is share the message about Article 13, even if it does mean regurgitating points. There's probably a few of you who've watched this video who already know what Article 13 is, but I highly encourage you to share these messages as much as you can, because this is a very serious topic that could have unintentional consequences. If you are a creator, I highly encourage you to either make a video on this or at least post it in your community tab, because this could affect so many lives, including yourself. There are so many people in the EU who have no idea about this law. I've messaged my friends just the other day and they had no clue about Article 13 until I told them. If you are in the EU, I highly encourage you to visit the website Save Your Internet. On here, you'll find your local MEPs. The ones in red are the ones you need to reach out to because they voted for Article 13 to be approved, and they will be voting for Article 13 to be passed in January. So you need to reach out to those particular MEPs and let them know about the consequences this will have. Feel free to share the hashtag SaveYourInternet, or share this video, or make your own video covering this. Either way, as long as you're getting the message out there, I think that'd be perfect. I'm sorry to be political on this channel. I will be going back to normal videos afterwards. I just felt the need to actually make something on this, because this could affect me and thousands of other people and their livelihoods. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, and don't pull a Picard.